LTI, Zoom to YouTube. When I'm with Zoom, if I put up the proper settings, Zoom and I get permission from YouTube, authentication that it knows that I'm not a robot and I'm in good standing. I haven't spammed them before. I can do this, get this up and running. Okay, I have that. Okay, so what I want to do tonight is to talk about the principles of least privilege. Everybody write that down. Alex, principles of least privilege. And I want everybody to look it up. I don't care how. And let me know who cares and how does this apply to this class. Alex, did you hear the term I just used? The principles of least privilege. Jake, did you hear that? The principles of least privilege. Did you look it up?
We have two Jakes, Professor.
Okay. Jake Fala. How do you pronounce your name? Jake.
Alec,
Falick.
how's it going? Yeah, I
Could
looked
be
at
better, but I hope my throat stays with me. So you'll help me out. So did you look
sorry
it
to hear
up?
that.
Yeah, me too. But I'll manage. So Jake, what did you find?
It says a cybersecurity concept requiring that users, systems, and processes be granted only the minimum access rights or privileges necessary to perform their specific functions.
So I'm a professor, right?
Yeah.
Instructor, professor. I have certain rights that I see. My class's grades. You have student. You see what?
The grades you post for us and then any assignments.
Just for individual grades, right? You're not seeing everybody else's grades, right? Unless I say I'll let you see the average or something like that, right? So in the regular Blackboard, you're what role?
Student,
Jake. We're with the Jake again. Same
student.
Jake. You're student, right? And then we had an audit area that we created last time. And what is your role there?
Well, it gives us more permissions to like edit our own
Right. So
slides and
you're
so
teaching
forth.
assistant. So everybody here, I promoted them to teaching assistants, except for myself. Now, Lily, I promoted her in the other class to instructor. And the reason she's instructor there is she can then add new students to the class. So is there anyone who was not here last time? Please show your face and raise your hand and let us know. Is there everyone was here and everyone has the audit section ready? Is that correct,
I
Lily?
wasn't here last class.
Okay. And are you in the audit area?
No.
I was gonna speak to her after class, Professor. You could put her
Yeah.
in the audit area later.
Okay, perfect. So you'll deal with that, okay? All right. Who else? Anyone else not in the audit area? Okay, so let me just share my screen and we can begin. Let's see if it'll work. So Lily, do you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay. One of the things I want to do, everybody see, we're in Blackboard. And if I look, I only have access to it. If I look at the bottom of my regular session, I look at users. I can see, do you see that? I see the entire class with roll of students, except for some students that are teaching assistants. Okay. Now, when I go to Zoom meetings, you have a folder, right? Isabella, Irene, right? You see the Zoom meetings?
Yeah. Yes.
Zoom is another product from Blackboard. But what they do, they have something called LTI, which basically means like an integration between one application and another, that you can embed. You got that, Isabella, Irene, that you can embed Zoom meetings into Blackboard. So what the beauty is, you go to Blackboard, you go to Zoom meetings, and you see, and it flashed LTI. Did you see that, Lily? It flashed quickly. You may not have seen it, LTI. And notice it tells me the upcoming meetings that I have, all with my BTE. You see that my case section. And then it has cloud recordings. So Eben, you see that? Is that how you pronounce your name? Eben. Eban. How do you pronounce your name?
Yeah,
Am I doing-
Evan.
Okay, great. So Eben,
Yeah.
you see that on the cloud recordings, these are cloud recordings.
Mhm.
Every time I record to the cloud, you can see it automatically. And I don't have to, as the instructor, bother uploading. It is integrated with Blackboard, so you can see it. Plus, you have meeting summaries, which is new, where it has then meeting summaries from AI Companion. So that's my regular session combined with it. Everybody is what, Isabella? Besides I have teaching assistants, I have myself as the instructor, and everyone else's student role. You got it? Isabella, you get to see your grades. That's important to you. You did not get to see other student grades, but what about me? If I go to Wiley Reading and Adaptive, chapter 1, Isabella, right? And
Yeah.
I go to info systems. What is my role, Isabella?
What do you mean, what's your role?
What's my role in this class? My
Professor?
instructor and my student?
Oh, well, right now, a student.
I'm a student?
Like what you're doing right now is what we do as students, you're saying?
It is, but we looked at user, I am an instructor. So even though it's great, it's like we rehearsed it, Isabella. Even though this looks like I'm a student and I'll get the same thing you do, what is my role? What do you think my role is? Do you think my role is a student in this class? Of course not, right? My role is instructor. So what do I have the rights to? Is I have the rights to see one student or all students in my class?
All.
Oh, so you don't, right? So when I do open assignment, I want you to understand what that means, at least that principles of least privilege. We all have least privilege based on what our tasks are to do our job. And I see here for this section, I have 31 people that completed it and 6 people never did anything. Whether they've dropped, we don't know. Whether they have problems with the paywall, we have no idea, but that's it. But if I want to drill down to students, I just wanted you to see my back end. I see that Carlos and Alonso and Ryder have completed it 100%. Do you see that? And each of them spent different times. One spent 24 minutes, one paid 8 minutes, one paid 26 minutes. This is called adaptive. Wiley Plus is called adaptive, that it tries based on how you answer the questions. It gives you additional questions to adapt to your learning. And what we care about in order to get credit is that you just have 100%. So I don't care. Do you see that, Eben? I don't care if it took you 25 minutes, it took you 5 minutes. You get 100%, you get the full credit. You understand? But I see that all. And what I'd like to do in the very beginning is have my TAs reach out to those students that haven't started just for the first couple of weeks and find out what is the issue. Is it the issue they don't care? Is it the issue, hey, I wanted to do it, but I got some financial problems or it's not working for me. So we just want to check in the beginning. Other than that, after that, I expect everybody to be adults here and always go to what's due section, and they'll see what's due. So that's the system. So you see that is about, I have a different view. And then what do I need to do is I also have the Wiley Reading and Adaptive, and I have the quizzes. And the quizzes then are set by chapters. They're released when they're due, and you have 2 tries on this. It's open-ended. I don't care, Eben. If you look on ChatGPT and look on the internet to find the questions, all I care about, Eben, is that you understand the concepts. And when you have problems with the concepts, you try to get it resolved. And if you can't get it resolved, guess what, Evan? You can bring it up in the class and say, I got two different versions here. Sometimes it says this, sometimes it says something else, okay? And then you notice that you have PowerPoints for each of the chapters. So you have PowerPoints that you can review also for each of the chapters. Everybody with me? And then, Eben, how do you tell what's due every week? So, and if you can't make it to class, or you had to leave early, you came in late, I don't need to get an email, and either does Lily saying, let me know what's due, because where do you have to go, Evan?
Just click on what's due.
Right. That's it. Simple, right? Everything's easy when you know it. So there's no reason for anyone in this class to say, I didn't know what's due. That's why my homework was late, or I didn't do my homework. You know what's due. And you can see here, we're starting this Wednesday having assignment 1 being due for the auto assignment instructions, advanced digital collaboration and EBIT. And then I have hardware, and then I have complete tech hardware. It's about hardware that I'm going to talk about on Wednesday, and tech hardware. And why is that important? Everything with the AI. Evan, have you heard of NVIDIA?
Yeah.
Right. Why are they so popular? Is they're making the chipsets for AI. They're working around the world trying to gather all that data for those chatbots that require huge amounts of data cooling, and that's why that hardware is so important. And even memory has gone up a lot, just because, Lily, if you get more memory, you know how I always say get as much RAM as you can. RAM is going through the roof. Why? Because AI, all these companies now are getting all those memory chips, because what do you need for all this processing? Huge amounts of memory. So a lot of companies now aren't even giving the maximum amount of memory anymore because there's a shortage of chips. Interesting to know. So you have this as well. And then on the audit assignments, this is your audit assignment. You need to do that. Is that pretty clear? Evan, how are you? Have you started this assignment, Evan?
Yeah.
How far have you gotten along?
I did what we did in class or last class, but I'm gonna do more tonight. I'll probably make the video. Or I
Okay.
did all the YouTube stuff, like live
Okay,
streaming.
but did you reach out to YouTube to get a channel yet, or not yet?
Yeah, I did all that.
Okay, when did you do that?
Last class.
You already reached out to get it. Did you get approval?
I believe so.
Because you got those believing, you have to check.
Yeah,
Check and recheck.
I'm-
Those believing doesn't mean anything in this business, right? We can believe all we want, but we need to see what's happening. Okay. So what do I have now? Once I have that assignment due, I have the content. And if I look at the content, I want to be under assignment groups. We've all been assigned groups, and if you haven't been assigned a group, Lily will graciously put you in a group, right, Lily? And you can see group 0, Eben. If you look at group 0, that is myself and all my TAs. You can use this as an example, as a great example of how the format is supposed to be. So what I want tonight, you can even do it right now, Evan, is you want your format to look exactly like that. You need to have a folder, not a file, that's to the left of the group 0. And basically, when you're doing this, you could even have later on, you could have an agent where AI does it, but you have to be able to distinguish and prompt AI to do it accurately. So you say, I want a group number. I want basically to the left, I want a folder. I want everyone's name plus their emails plus their phone. Also, you want it in that order. Why? Guess what, Isabella? Because you'll have another agent maybe reading in, and if somebody puts name, they put email, they put their name, and then they put phone number, and then they put email, sometimes the computer is not smart enough still to understand it, and you have to work through it. So everyone make sure now that this is the order. Don't put phone number first. Don't leave out phone number. It has to be in this order so it can be copied over to a spreadsheet and we can have AI do a lot of the analysis. Questions? Evan, is that clear?
Yeah, we have it like that for ours.
Okay, perfect. You're kind of my spotter there, okay? And then if I click on group 0, everybody's group, which it wasn't earlier when I checked, should say a folder called Zoom individual assignment. I don't want 7 or 4 or 3 or 2. I just want one saying Zoom individual assignment. There should be a folder there. If it's not there, right, Isabella, you put it in. Not a big shakes. Nothing is big shakes here. You go to content folder and you label it. But one person does it in the group, not everyone in the group. And what some people were having problems with the other day is make sure you see this in the corner where it says edit mode is on. You see that, Isabella? That edit mode is on. You see my cursor there?
Yeah.
That needs to be on for everybody because if it's off, you cannot write on this. So that, and you cannot do edit mode on in the regular student because guess what, Isabella? You don't have the rights to it. Only my TAs and myself have it. So this has to say on. And it's
I actually have a question for
yeah.
that. So oh, okay, now I'm seeing the edit mode.
Okay.
So I was trying to change my group's format to what yours looks like.
Okay, so you have to make sure that the edit mode is on.
Right. And
this right down here, right? Those say edit, and you can edit whatever you want. Now, this is what the danger is too, right, Eben? Is us being the audit area, you have a lot of rights to edit. And guess what? Can somebody edit your stuff? Eben,
Yeah.
can they delete your stuff?
Yeah.
Can they make changes to your uploads? Yeah. So one of the things you want to do for protection is you want to do what, Eben? You want to save your work to another format. You want to save your work maybe to your local computer. You may want to save it to your local cloud. You all
but
have local
Professor,
cloud.
how do we change the type? Like the text that's in when you're back at the assignment groups page. I'm trying to change the format and I can't figure out how to edit it.
What group are you?
2.
Okay, we go to group 2. Tell me what you need to do. It says Isabella, Alonso, Kiko, and
Yeah, I was trying to change it so it has the like
right.
separators,
Everybody's
like
not in that order, right? Everybody put their phone
right.
numbers, right?
See the
So what do you
little
want?
arrow? Oh, you go ahead, Professor.
You see this?
Oh, wait, what is
Oh, you see this? Edit here and then save.
Yeah, I see that. Wait, what did you click? You clicked the down arrow and then you
Down
said
arrow and
oh.
edit.
Okay,
Everything's
got
easy.
it.
Everything's easy when you do what? When you know it. Next time you can show it to somebody else, right?
Thank you.
My pleasure. So don't get too and have everybody help each other. You know what I mean on this part,
Yeah.
right? Not a big shake, but Lily shouldn't have to send you another email to tell you to fix it, and that's not Lily's job, right? Don't you
Right.
agree?
I
It's
agree.
not Lily's job to correct it. But I want to explain to you why. Because you said, what does it matter if I have my phone number? I have my because later on we're going to have an Excel spreadsheet read this information. Later on, we're going to create some AI callers, some phone numbers that will act as AI chatbots. In order to do this, we need to have the correct numbers there to assign it to. Sometimes I will ask you for a code from Google. Lily knows that to do some of my research. So we need to have it in the right order. Okay, not a big deal. So in this case, I know that I have it. Everybody should have then Zoom individual assignment. And if you don't, you put it in, right? Build content folder. And then you will have each person in your group follow this order in order to submit it for Wednesday before class. And that is, you're not going to have sample. You'll have Zoom individual assignment, your name, because it's not a sample, right? You're going to have your local recording, which is an MP4 with the date and time. Do you see this is missing, Lily?
The time's missing. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I don't know when she did it, but I think
Put it in,
I have a
rename it
ballpark.
with a time. Rename it right now with a time. You know what I mean? But if we're going to show samples, right, we want to have our samples be correct, right? And then the Zoom cloud recording, notice what it says here, miami.zoom.us. What is that coming from? Kai, what is that coming from? Miami HTTPS, that stands for Hypertext Protocol, it's secure. Miami.zoom.us. So it's riding on what? Zoom server, and who subscribed to it was the University of Miami. You see that, Kai? And here is, they're allowing me to share, and then they have this long number. Did I create the number? No. Zoom created the number. And notice YouTube live streaming should have YouTube's link. So you could go to your channel after it's done. I get an email saying I'm live on the internet and it tells me the channel. You go to your channel and copy the URL. And what you should do then, Kai, is have someone, at least one or two people in your group, click on your links to make sure they work. Because sometimes they work for you, Kai, in your environment, but they don't work for others. You know, they need special permissions, things like that. And then you have these showcase. What did you showcase in your videos, right? You'll have Zoom AI Companion, and then you'll have what they talked about. You'll have takeaways. What did you learn from it, Kai? We just don't want you to be turkeys here, you know, and like parrots pressing. How can this be used for business? Kai, what's your major?
I'm a pre-law major.
Pre-law. So could this be used for legal? Of course it could. You could do for your, one is to teach others how in law firms how to use AI tools. You think they're going to be using AI tools? Of course they are. They're already having those, right? So you could teach people these. So you can do that for their clients, a number of different ways that they could do it. It's perfect. So you think about already scenarios and the takeaways, how you can think in the legal arena, would this be useful? How would it be useful? And then what challenges did you face in this assignment and how did you solve it? And some things, Kai, maybe you couldn't figure it out. So you put, I'm still working on this. And notice another person in the group does the exact same thing. No big shake. So if you have 3 people, you'll have 3 of these. So question, Devin, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same thing. So if I go to group 1, Jake and Kai, and what am I seeing here? Do you guys have a folder? Put it in, right? In group 2, right? I don't need to do that. You can do it. I don't want to leave today. You don't get attendance credit if you don't have your group having the right format. This is good. I got the assignment group 2. And then what do? They should be putting in their assignment. They haven't put anything in, which is due on Wednesday, but that's it. Anything else I need here, Lily, to look at?
I would go to group 5.
Okay. So I see in group 5, I see everybody's name, I see their emails. And these, let me just tell you, this is a review. Eben, it's interesting. It's your group. These are what we're going to be talking about in database terms. These are fields in a database. This right here, a row is called a record, just like it is in a spreadsheet. A column is like a field or an attribute. So you have 3 fields. And how many records do you have? You have 4 records. Those are terms, you know it, Eben, of columns and rows, but they're called something else in database. Now if I go into group 5, what is, you tell me, Evan, what's the problem with this?
Yeah, there's the folder, but then it's I don't know, was that in like an assignment with like a
That is what? That is basically that's going to be, does that look like a folder to you?
no, it's not.
No. So get rid of it.
Yeah.
How would you get rid of it? Pull this down.
There, let's delete on the bottom.
Yeah, no big shakes when you know it. You know what I mean? And you can text your whoever this is Charlotte's, text her and tell her she can get rid of it, or ask her permission. You like to do it. But I would rather have, is Charlotte here today?
Yes, I'm here. I can delete it.
Yeah, just delete it. No big deal. You know, Lily didn't want me to call out people. I think it's good. We know that we're all going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. Lily, have I not? Every day there's a mistake I made. And I say, thank you for correcting me. That's why we have AI too. Does AI make mistakes, you think, every day? It does too. So we all need to correct each other. We need to correct the AI. We need to correct ourselves. We need to correct each other. So it's not a problem to make mistakes. That's not what I ever will be upset about. What I will be upset, right, Eben, is if this remains there, that you know already, right? And that, Eben, you can say, hey, let me contact Charlotte and have her get it. Because I'd like to have it, Eben, that we have the proper conduct in our group, that we don't start deleting other people's data. You agree with me, Eben? Tell
Yeah.
them nicely that
Mhm.
and help them, but don't start deleting other people's work.
Mhm.
And then individual assignments, Zoom assignments, then you want to do at this part, then you want to upload. Everybody with me so far? Charlotte, you understand that? And you can did you delete it already, Charlotte?
Yes, I did delete
Right.
it.
So you want to check again if it was deleted. You know what I mean? And what group was that? 5? So no big shakes, right? We look, okay, hey, it looks great. You know what I mean? And because we want to put, and then we're going to have a Zoom group assignment, Eben. So what do you think we'll do for the next assignment? We'll make another folder called Zoom group assignment, and you'll put inside of that all your group work. Because guess what? Do we have a lot of things in Zoom we haven't covered yet? Polls is, Eben, you take a poll, you need somebody to make the poll, right? And you can't make the poll and then take the poll. Breakout rooms, you can't have just one person in a breakout room, doesn't make any sense, right? So we'll do all of that, and that'll be, you'll get great skills. I think it's fabulous. Okay, if we have the right attitude on it, it's terrific. And things won't work, Eben. And we don't get too frustrated. One of the things we can do is check ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, ask any other AI how to help you. In this class, do I mind that? No. As long as we get the job done and you understand it, get it however you want. It'll help. And it's the same thing if I do group 6, I don't have to do it. Zoom individual assignment and then going through. Anything else I need to look at here in the assignments, Lily?
No, if you want to show another example, I have one from HI.
Okay, so do you want, I'll stop sharing and you can share.
Okay. Let me just pull it up on here.
You understand, Eben? So we're going to have positive attitudes, right? We're going to learn a lot and help each other. Isn't that great? How could it be better, you know? And when you get stuck on assignments, reach out even to, besides ChatGPT, your group members. Oh, I saw that you did it right. I got stuck here. Can you help me? That's
Professor,
acceptable.
it's not gonna let me do it because I didn't set it up on my new computer.
So what do you want me to do? You want me to do?
It's HI Group 5, Ava Patel's.
Is it, do I need to do it? Or can we just use the one that we just already had?
The ones we already have is fine.
What?
You don't need to show it.
I don't need to show it.
I think
Ours is great, right?
Yeah.
So they just follow that. They don't need another student to see. But do we have any student that has tried it?
Within this section?
Mhm.
No.
Has anyone uploaded? Raise your hand if you've uploaded anything. Okay. So Alex, what does that mean? Alex, that we got to really work on it today, because when is it due, Alex?
Which Alex are you talking to?
You.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday, before class. So, and we need to get the Zoom, we need to get the YouTube up and running, so we got to do that tonight if we haven't done it. And then we need to get all our work done. So we're limited, okay? So anything else on the assignment group, Lily, that I need to talk about?
No, I think you pretty much covered it with the
Okay, any questions in the
format.
chat? My Charlotte, how we doing with it? Easy when you know it. And make sure people were having last time, I can't get my name in it. Check on the upper right hand corner of your audit area to see if it says edit mode on. If it says off, what do you think, Charlotte? You can't edit. But you have the rights for that section to be editing. But you want to be careful. Okay? So if I share, let me go to the assignment. Let me go to my regular one. So where do I need to do then? Kai, how do I figure out what's due for Monday, for Wednesday?
I mean, you go to the what's due section. and it'll
Exactly.
tell you
What's
at the
due,
top.
right? And I see that Wednesday, I need to do the audit assignment. I need to read the hardware. I need to do the adaptive assignment. I need to do the quizzes. And then I have 2 links that I should look at. One of the links is this one that says www.it.miami.edu. Alex, do you see that? The question is, what does IT mean? Do you have any clue? That when somebody says, I work in IT, have you ever heard them say that? Somebody could say, I work in IT. What does that mean? What does that mean? Take a guess, Alex. You can even ask ChatGPT, what does it mean, right? Well, I can even ask,
Information technology, the use of computer systems or devices to access, store, manage, and protect information.
Yeah.
What it says.
It says it. Do you think do we need that at the University of Miami? University of Miami is an organization, right? Everybody with me? University is an organization, a large enterprise that has what? It has faculty, it has students. What is its purpose? To educate. It also has what? It has a medical center. Anybody go to UHealth? Anybody been at Lennar? That's a health center. I told Lily, that's where the university gets most of its revenues, is from the hospital, health centers. That's where, if all my finance guys, that's where they're spending their efforts. Because guess what? 95% of the revenues are coming from that. You think, God, we're paying a fortune in tuition? I think so. But guess what? That's a mini school to all those operations, Lily, 50,000 for this operation, 60,000 for this, and and it's insurance, and that's it. So I want to go to miami.edu, and you should go there too. You should open it up in a tab. When I give you a link, you should at least look at it and try to figure out, why does she want me to there? What's the purpose of it? And you can see, how can I help you? And one thing it says is information technology. They don't use, and here it says, how can IT help you? They don't put information technology parenthesis IT. They just assume you know what IT is. And that's a problem with people. You know what, Lily? People that are with technical terms, they think everybody else understands those technical terms, and they don't, but it's okay. How can I help you? And it says, they give me my leadership policies and all my policies. And what do they take care of? The wireless networks. Do we have wireless? Are you on there? Look at this, collaboration and cloud storage, right? They have a little thing of learn more. And guess what they also have is, it says, visit your IT gateway. Anybody ever see, can you just get into the network? They have to what? Authenticate you. And guess what, Evan? When they authenticate you, can they spy on you?
No.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, no.
Okay. They know every IP where you are. They may not advertise it that we're actually spying on you. You enter their network, you are at their disposal. I'm just telling everybody. They don't have you ever heard them say that? They're not going to say that. Right? But they can spy on you and they can track where you're going. Have you ever seen any of those forensic shows where they'll find you by your IP? They'll find you in your geofence. They can find you. And I'll tell you another time, Lily, I'll tell you another time where I had a student where they got from Facebook. He was a very bright student from Hong Kong, and Facebook told him to cease and desist, and they had even his Chinese name, and Facebook did, and they didn't even know. He said, I never gave it to the university, my Chinese name. And they told him to cease and desist because he had some games that he was playing. And we're kind of fishy there. And he went and he was graduating, Lily, and he wanted to get out of the country. So we contacted one of the attorneys that came to class, maybe to help him get out of the country. And I said, does your mother know about this, Lily? And he says, yes, she was concerned, but when she heard how much I was making a month, she let me go. And it was thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a month he was making on this silly game for Facebook. You know, I mean, I would have said, who wants to play that game? But he got it. So, anyways, this is a side then, right? So, Eben, you think nobody's following you. Alex, you think have you ever seen you enter? You have to do valid authorization, right? Whenever you go into anything, your email, anything, Blackboard, they're authenticating you. They're authenticating. They know you've entered. So you have to be on your best behavior. I'm just telling you. So it's students, faculty, and staff. And then what did they say? K&ID self-services, AI listing, hello and support, latest projects, IT, security. And look at this. This is what I like. And in my opinion, they are lacking in this field, and I hope they get better. And that's what we're going to do, Alex, is we're going to get better. We're going to go beyond what they give us. But AI tools at the U is new. Did they tell you about it, Alex, when you came in? You're not mic'd, so we're recording, so this doesn't work.
No, I didn't get it.
No, right? So they're not advertising it well because I think they don't know quite to do with it. But look at this. These are products that we can use. Some of them you cannot, and I'm upset about that. This Copilot for Microsoft 365, notice it doesn't have undergraduate students. And I complained that my undergraduate students should get this. But look at this. Have you ever heard of Copilot? Charlotte, have you ever heard of Copilot on the web?
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. Alex, have you ever heard of Copilot?
Maybe the name, but that's it.
That's the name. Lily, have you ever heard of Copilot?
Yeah, isn't it like Microsoft's AI software?
Yes. Basically, what Microsoft did, and look it up, Copilot is Microsoft. Everybody heard of Microsoft. Microsoft basically, the way it basically invested early on into OpenAI, ChatGPT, right? And once it opened up, then they used OpenAI as their background, and they're trying to make ChatGPT, but it be Microsoft. They now hired somebody that really knows his stuff, and they are trying to improve. The university, just so you know, Charlotte, is a Microsoft customer. That means that Microsoft really is trying to use their tools. And this is what I want you to look at. Use Copilot. Let me move this. See, nobody ever tells you that stuff. The other things, right, Eben, you can read on your own, the what's in the book, right? But what I want to share time with you is things that the book doesn't tell you about, right? I expect, Eben, you can read the book just as well, probably even better than me. So it says, use Copilot to get work done faster. be more creative, and support customers better. All of this can be done with the confidence that individual and business data is protected and will not leak outside the organization. So this is important for you, Lily, is why do we care and the business data is protected and will not leak outside the organization? All my people in finance, right, and investments that I have, or even in other areas or in law, why is this important and who cares and what do they mean by this? Who can help me? So you can even write it down. Write it down. What does it mean? Confident individual business data is protected and will not leak outside the organization. Felix, go ahead and type that in, right, to ChatGPT. Remember, Christina, you can type anything I want. I want this sentence that all of this, right, all of the business data is protected and will not leak.
You just want me to type that sentence in ChatGPT?
Yep. And ask, what does that mean? Using Copilot. What does that mean? And why is it important for business? Because the way the university says it, right, Lucy, is they think as if everybody knows what that means, right? And guess what? If you don't know it, other thousands of people have no clue too. You agree with me and Lucy? And why do you want to do it? And notice you have to be 18 and plus. So maybe everybody's 18 and plus. And it's available to faculty, staff, and students. So what do we find? Isabella, Irene, what do we find?
For Copilot on the web.
Copilot on the web, that it says that I have business data is protected and will not leak outside the organization. Why is that important and who cares?
Because the information that the school can access from us, like it's not going to go anywhere besides the like our school.
Who cares? Why when I use ChatGPT, I don't care, it trains for my data. Why does the university care? You, Jonas,
Because
what's
it's also
Go
the
ahead.
university's like information besides
Right.
ours. It's also theirs too.
It's basically, think about who has your data. The registrar, right? Recruitment has your data, right? They recruited you, right, Isabella?
Right.
And they may have some formula how they're getting these students. You think they want to share that with their competitors?
No.
No. So the university pays extra to get Copilot, which is very similar to ChatGPT. You can get it on the web and you can prompt it just like ChatGPT, but it's protected. So it will answer your questions, but will not be used for Microsoft to train its models. So what the university really wants to do is take their data, like their recruiting data, and find me better recruits. Wouldn't you want that? That really love UM and want to come to UM. They think they know, maybe we'll go to New Jersey, maybe we'll go to New York, maybe we'll do whatever they decide. I'm just making up what their ideas are. But wouldn't it be good? They have all the university data. They see who really was successful. And Lily, they may see who after 5 years really did well, or even getting donations. Who will be my success stories? What are the attributes of those people? And if I can get AI to help me based on my previous one, wouldn't that be great, Lily? They basically do what? Have the revenue. And the same thing with the healthcare. Where are my most profitable operations, Lily? who can do the best. And you know what, Lily? We may find, hey, we need to do a concierge service. The big CEOs will say, hey, we'll do AI with you. We'll test out your blood. We'll test your genes. And you can come into you don't have to show your face at Lennar or at the university. You can be private. And we can get all the famous, the rich and famous, right, Lily? That they can get our services. What do we need to do then in that case is what, Isabel? We have to keep the data private. I don't want my competitors to see it, but I want them to look at the pattern to help me succeed. And that's where I say humans are going to be in the loop of you deciding what should we start. And all my accounting finance people, I think it's great because you want to look at the profitable areas. I don't want to automate those areas that don't bring me any revenues, Lily, first. I want to get the big ways. How do I get donors, right? I have to give them something. Donors, even they just don't have, we have all those Griffins and all those guys come into Miami. They want something in return too. So maybe we can help with business problems. Some of the problems that they have, investments, right? Help them do it. But what? They don't want their data being out there. They don't want their client data being out there, and we don't want our client data being out there. So what I thought is to invite, this is a new group, Isabella, this is a new group called AI department. And they hired this guy. He's a math, he has a PhD in math. I'm not so pleased that he isn't strictly AI, but he's learning on the job, right? And everybody's learning. And they're trying to figure out how can they use AI for the student, how they can even teach with the students, how they can basically do their back end with AI, and how can the university prosper. You don't want them to go out of business. Even though it's not profit, it still has to pay their bills. We got plenty of bills. Have you looked around the campus? All that is expensive keeping up, right? All those dorms, the way all those machines in the hospitals. So this is the way in which I want to think. And what I want you guys to do for your class project is you're going to be AI consultants in a certain field. And you, Isabella, figure out a field that you are really interested in, not a field that being in space industry or something, maybe something that you really adore, marketing or whatever, or mental health. I think mental health is great for AI. Why? AI hallucinates. Everybody realize that AI is conversation. And with feelings, I say I feel depressed, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel blue. Who's going to argue with that? It's not right or wrong. But if we took all the data to help somebody that was in depression, or just even college students, first year semester, the blues, I'm homesick, I broke up with somebody, class is too stressful, whatever it is, there should be certain commonalities among university students that AI could be a companion to the counseling center. Counseling center can't see everybody 24/7, but if they had something personalized for myself with guardrails, that if I said, I feel so bad, I want to kill myself, right? I want the AI not to say, oh, great idea, Dr. Rush, let me show you, you have a car where you don't want to have that. You want to say, Dr. Rush, you need to go into a hospital. And we're bringing in, right now, we're calling in the counselor, and they're at your house, and they're ready to pick you up. That's the guardrails. Okay. What else, Lily?
I think we kind of covered it, Dr. Rush. Make sure that you're completing your quizzes and adaptive assignments, and if you're not, or if you're confused on what that is, please speak with me after class. Just because I've been reviewing like today the grade book, and I've noticed that some people haven't submitted adaptive or quizzes. So
Why not do it it's easy, it's open-ended, it's time restricted. Why not do it? Why
And
be
we have them every
penalized?
week.
Yeah, and you have it every week. Why be penalized?
So.
I think those are simple kind of things. That's my contention. Okay, Lily, you want to do
Yeah, I'll
attend?
do attendance, but I'm just gonna put the code in the chat.
Yeah, that's good enough. Nobody here needs to see the screen. Right? Everybody can look at the chat. Right, Lucy? You can look at the chat.
And I'll verbalize the code too. It's 3771. 3771.
And I just want to announce that I appreciate Lily and her work. She's done a tremendous amount of work for this class and always thinking about the best for you. So Lily, bravo. Okay, once you do that, stay with me, stay with Lily. Lily's going to stay on a little bit. I'll stay on a little bit and answer any of your questions. We'll finish it up on Wednesday, see what the issues are, right? That if you think about it, Olivia, there's always issues. Document. Reach out to other people to help you. That's all.
Thank you, Professor.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.